adventure. Mark's awesome adventure!
Perfect.
I'm feeling kinda sexy, people like me this way. No, I don't care for superficial patterns, do it for play. Yeah, I'ma spend my time on Grammy till the day that I'm dead. You wanna know? I'm gonna show ya. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, come party with me. Gotta go all night, don't need no sleep. Gotta go real high, cause I'm living the dream. Living the dream, living the dream. 4, 5, 6, don't make a fuss, just kiss my lips, enjoy the rush. Gotta go real high, cause I'm living the dream. Living the dream, I'm living. Living the dream, I'm living. Living the dream, I'm living.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for all those people who are liking and subscribing. I appreciate that. Today I'm on Koh Chang Island, and this beach is called 𝙾𝙃𝙼𝙉𝙂 Beach, and this is low tide, so it kind of looks a little funny with the beach the way it is, but a couple of the beaches around here are like this. And but Koh Chang has a lot of really interesting things about it that I want to show you. But the biggest thing that I want to talk about is one thing that I realized that after I came here that I didn't know before I came here was the way Koh Chang is there's lots of little beaches all over the island, and my first idea was that it really didn't matter where I was going to get a hotel. I expected to be able to walk to a 7-Eleven because there's like 10 7-Elevens on Koh Chang. Well, I wound up on Lonely Beach, and there's no 7-Elevens on Lonely Beach. So that's something that you should know if you book a place on Lonely Beach. There's no 7-Elevens anywhere near Lonely Beach. And that kind of set me back from my coffee situation, because I like to drink a lot of coffee, and I usually get my coffee from 7-Eleven or Starbucks, and there's no Starbucks on this island. So, and I wasn't walking distance to any 7-Eleven, so that really screwed up my coffee situation. So I wound up finding a hotel down the beach from where I'm at that lets me do their buffet, their breakfast buffet every morning, and then I can drink all the coffee I want. And that's how I solved that problem. But you should know about that, especially if you're staying in Lonely Beach or one of these other beaches that are away from the 7-Elevens, because it can really throw a wrench in your gears for the coffee situation. It did me anyways. But check out 𝙾𝙃𝙼𝙉𝙂 Beach here for a second. I want to talk a little bit more about the coffee situation here in Koh Chang. Most of the hotels do typical Thai style, and a lot of the coffee shops here do typical Thai style. And what I mean by that is that they're only going to serve you a little Dixie cup full of coffee from anywhere to 50 to 80 baht for one teeny tiny little Dixie cup full of coffee, and then they only fill it up halfway. So that's going to make you crazy if you're an American. And so that's why I usually only get my coffee at 7-Eleven, because at least at 7-Eleven you can get a big cup of coffee and it's going to be full. It's not going to be half full. But here I wound up having to look around for a resort that would let me pay for their buffet, and then I could get as much coffee as I want to drink. and it's fresh brewed coffee at the buffet. So that's how I solved my problem. But yeah, that's something you're gonna have to think about if you come here to Koh Chang, because they do not have a good coffee plan. If you're not near a 7-Eleven, you're pretty much screwed. And the hotel that I'm at, they won't let you brew your own coffee inside the room. So I had no other option except to go to another buffet. Sorry for the construction noise, there's nothing I can do about that. But if you're looking for the bridge to get over to the seafood restaurants, you come over here. That's where the bridge is. It's by the Vanilla Sky restaurant and this restaurant over here. It's right next door. And this is going to get you over to the seafood restaurants. Looks like they're making an actual road, which is probably a good idea. Okay, so now you're on the party side of the canal. This is where all the seafood restaurants are, down this way. You can see the signs. I want to see if there's a path that goes all the way along to all the seafood restaurants, or if there's individual roads going to each one. because it looks like we're still in the mangrove. So it's going to be real difficult to get to if they don't have a pathway going to each one. This is the Koh Chang, but from the looks, what it looks like is to get to each restaurant, you got to go out and go down a road and then come back into the mangrove. So this is going to be a lot more difficult than I thought. But this is the first one of the bunch. Okay, so this is the main seafood area right here by this resort. So you can see the signs. This is what you're looking for. And this is the road going down to the area that I was looking for. See, these are all the restaurants. But this is how you get to these restaurants. Now I gotta see which one I want to eat at. Let me go all the way down to the end and then I'm gonna come back. Well, they got rooms down here. This would be a cool place to stay. If you want to eat seafood every day, this would be a great place. It's right on the river and it's right around the corner from 𝙏𝙃𝙼𝙉𝙂 Beach. But it's not really walking distance of 𝙏𝙃𝙼𝙉𝙂 Beach. I like to walk and it took me like 15 minutes. I just came from 𝙏𝙃𝙼𝙼 Beach. But you could probably take that little taxi boat over there to 𝙏𝙃𝙼𝙼 Beach. But it's not easy to walk it. And all they would have to do, see this little stream right here? I was on the other side of that stream just a minute ago. All they got to do is build a bridge from here to that road over there, and that would solve the problem. Okay. I think I'm gonna go over here. I'll check out each one, see what they look like. Nothing in the tanks. That's not a good sign. And this is where they usually keep the fish, but there's no fish in there either. Okay, yeah, this place looks pretty cool. But I want to go down to the other places. Okay, I finally made it down to where I wanted to be. Let me walk around here. This is the restaurant. And see how far I was from the beach? It's not very far, but I walked a long ways just to get here because all the roads are separated. And they have a water taxi like this, but I couldn't see it when I was down there at the beach, so I had no way to get down here. But you can see they have restaurants on both sides of the river here. And this is a really cool place. I imagine it's even more cool at nighttime. But I want to test out their oysters because I haven't had oysters in a long time. So I'm gonna sit over here and have me some oysters and beer and see how that goes. Okay, there's a taxi boat that you pick up from on a resort. So they got more than one taxi boat over here. Okay, I got 2 orders of the larger oysters and she's charging me like $12 for these 2 and then about $6 for the beer. This looks like it used to be an old restaurant. One of the things that I noticed is that you have a few small fishing boats like this here and like these 2 tucked into the weeds over here, but it's like a very small amount of fishing boats here, not like 𝙏𝙃𝙼𝙉 where you have just a whole port full of fishing boats. So I think a lot of the seafood that's here is probably shipped in. Maybe it's brought in from the larger pier and they truck it in over here, but I don't think they're getting most of their seafood from off the boats. I think this is a tourist seafood area. I don't think it's an actual seafood village. You do have a few seafood boats like this one and these ones over here, but it's nowhere near enough to be able to supply all these restaurants. So I think a lot of the seafood's probably coming in from the main pier and they're trucking it in here. Yeah, the reason why I say that I think this area is actually kind of a tourist seafood area, it's not really a seafood village, is because first of all, in order to even qualify to be a authentic seafood restaurant, they have to have raw oysters. These guys had raw oysters. They had a couple of different kinds. And I thought maybe they were frozen, but once I got them served, they weren't frozen, but they tasted like they've been sitting around for about 3 days. So yeah, they didn't taste fresh. Like when I was in 𝙏𝙃𝙼𝙉, those were fresh off the boat. Those were some of the freshest oysters I've ever had. And in Cambodia, I can get fresh oysters from the market over there. They just taste so good. They're fresh off the boat. Even on those scooters, they sell oysters. In Cambodia, you can get fresh. But here, those oysters that I tasted, they tasted like they were about 3 days old. So yeah, I don't think this is an authentic seafood village. They make it up to be a seafood village, but I think it's a tourist seafood village because I looked around, I don't see any real seafood boats. I see a couple tiny little boats that are probably making a little bit of money selling their catch to the restaurants, but it's nowhere near enough to supply all those restaurants. I'm so happy. They gave me a really nice room. Air conditioner, glass front, and I got an ocean view. I have a nice little porch here. This is so cool. I really like this. This is nice. I like this a lot. This is my cabin, and this is the view walking out to the ocean. This is really amazing. This is one of the most amazing places I've ever stayed. Even though it's rocks, Got a nice sunset view, nice dock, a nice little spot to hang out over here. This is a really nice place, and the room is fantastic. Oh, I'll bet you there's lobsters everywhere around here. Take my snorkel mask and go in here and catch me some lobsters. Oh, that looks... Oh, that's just weeds. But I'll bet you there's some down there. It doesn't look like you can see very well in this part because it looks like the water is murky. So I don't think the snorkel and mask would help much. But this place is just amazing. My first impression of this place is it's just... Morning. I just realized what it is I like about this place so much, and it's peace. You don't hear any music blasting and stuff like that. it's peaceful. I mean, there's somebody with a weed eater over there, but he's gonna be done pretty soon. He's almost completed the whole place, so a couple more hours he's gonna be done. But yeah, that's what I like about this place. It's peaceful. Nobody's blasting the music and stuff like that. This day was a little bit messed up because I heard there was a big car accident. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 cars or 1 car, but they completely wiped out like a couple of power poles and knocked out the power for the whole island since last night at about 3 o'clock in the morning. So we've had no power all day long because they've had to literally replace the poles and all the wires. And they're almost done, but I just decided to make this a beer drinking day because what else are you gonna do, you know? I have to say, this is one of the best experiences I've had in a while. As far as, look at this chair. And this chair is really comfortable. I could literally go to sleep in this chair. And the beer is cheap. I'm getting it from the mini mart. 65 baht for one of these beers. And I got me a little bucket full of ice with more beers in there. I got an ocean view. Well, it's a pretty good deal here. You know what I'm thinking about when I'm here in this place is all the crazy shit that's going on in the US. And I do mean crazy stuff. People killing each other, all the radical woke stuff. I don't have to deal with any of that here. And yeah, all that radical stuff that's going on in the US and even in the UK, all the immigrants causing all kinds of problems and stuff like that. I don't gotta deal with any of that stuff over here. That's what I think about. I think about how lucky I am to be over here, have a really great beer for a couple of bucks, and be in a place like this. Be able to afford a place like this. Yeah. Sorry about the bugs. Think of it like one of those frequency videos. That's the best you can do, because they're not going away. But yeah, the bugs are something else. That's the only thing I got to worry about is the bugs. I don't have to worry about all the radical woke stuff. I don't have to worry about none of that. Don't have to worry about the 15-minute cities. No, don't got to worry about the chemtrails. There's no chemtrails here. So yeah, that's what I think about when I'm over here. Yeah. I want to tell you, what do I think about Koh Chang? What do I think about Koh Chang? Wait a minute. Let me have a sip of my beer. Okay, what do I think about Koh Chang? My impressions about Koh Chang before I got here and my impressions about Koh Chang after I got here. My impressions about Koh Chang before I got here is I thought it was going to be like every other island. It's not. What makes Koh Chang different than all the other islands I've been to is the first thing I can say is that the beaches are all spread out. You have tiny beaches all over the island, and each one of the beaches are pretty nice, but you're just gonna have to pick one. White Sands Beach is pretty nice, but 𝙾𝙃𝙼𝙉 is pretty nice. Actually, there's a lot in Lonely Beach, even though Lonely Beach kind of seems like Lonely Beach because there's nothing here, but there's no 7-Elevens, there's no Starbucks, but Lonely Beach has a character all its own. It's not like the other beaches. White Sands Beach is great if you can afford it, but the rent on White Sands Beach is outrageously expensive. 𝙾𝙃𝙼 the same way. If you can afford 𝙾𝙃𝙼, great, fantastic. Book a place on 𝙾𝙃𝙼. But Lonely Beach is where most of the people are going to wind up because it's affordable. This place where I'm at right now is absolutely one of the best deals on Koh Chang. This is called the Seaflower Resort, and I panned a couple of times. Let me do it again. And I'm staying here a month. And the reason why I decided to stay here a month is because I've been a lot of places around Thailand and Cambodia. And out of all the places that I've been, these guys gave me the best deal at the best price. And I got an ocean view, and I can relax in places like this. I can buy beer at mini market prices and sit out here on the beach and drink it. So I got the bar experience for mini market prices. Basically, that's it. I could go down there right over there to Lonely Beach and pay twice as much for that and have to give tips for the beer if I wanted to drink over there on the beach. But is it really that much difference to drink from there to here? I don't think so. That's why I decided to just stay here. This Seaflower Resort has a couple of different places you can drink. You can drink here. You can drink over there by the tables. So it has a couple of different places that you can hang out and drink, and you don't have to give anybody any tips. You get the bar experience, ocean view, and you don't have to give anybody any tips. So that right there to me is worth it, especially if I'm staying a month. How many tips do you think I'm going to give if I'm staying at White Sands Beach, drinking beer every other day? How much tips am I going to waste staying at a place like that? Not to mention the price of the rent for the rooms. So you get more for your money here at this place than you will probably anywhere else in Koh Chang. And I don't normally recommend hotels, but I can't hardly avoid it because there's no other place on Koh Chang like this place. So check it out again. See how many of those places you can get an ocean view with? They all got AC. I got a queen size bed with AC, ocean view, and I can literally walk straight out from my room and sit here and drink beer for, I paid 65 baht for this beer. I don't have to give anybody any tips. And this is my view. My question to you is, do you want this? You want this? You want some of this? Because Seaflower Resort, this is where I'm at. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about is that I noticed here in Koh Chang that I didn't notice at the other islands is that the girls here are really friendly. You have Thai girls here, and I didn't have a chance to actually check out the bars in downtown. I saw a couple of bars that looked like girly bars, so they may actually have some Thai girl bars here in Koh Chang. I didn't really have enough time to be able to do that, but what I did notice just traveling around the island here is that there's a lot of Thai girls here, and they're really friendly. So what I'm saying is, if you come here as a single guy, the odds that you're going to be able to pick up a Thai girl is not bad. Because I've just noticed that a lot of the girls that are here are really nice. It doesn't matter where I go, whether I go here or if I go down to the other side of the island, the Thai girls here are really cool. And so I get the feeling like if you wanted to pick up a Thai girl here, it wouldn't be that hard. You could pick up a Thai girl. It's okay กินข้าว Yeah, okay. They won't let you feed them by hand. You gotta just toss the bananas to them. See you later. Right now it's almost noon time and it's low tide right now, so this is what White Sands Beach looks like, low tide. But like I was talking about before, if you can see down to here, from this area here all the way down, this is where all the cool bars are. This is a hotel here, but this is a bar, this is a bar, this is a bar, this is a bar, this is a bar. So this is where the most of the excitement is down this end of White Sands Beach. The far end of White Sands Beach is White Sands Resort, and it's boring. It's got one restaurant with a bar in it, and the drink prices are outrageously expensive. So the more affordable places are down here, and I would imagine this is where all the fire shows and stuff are, is down in this area. This right here is my favorite bar. It's called Apple or Apun, and I don't know why they don't have a sign out here. They got a sign for the massage, but they don't have a sign for the bar. But this is my favorite spot because they got 2 floors and they got a lot of cute girls working here, so that's 2 good reasons.ครับที่นี่ชื่ออะไร
แอปเปิลบีฟอนค่ะแอปเปิล
Apun
จ้า
Apun
จ้า
โอเคขอบคุณมากครับ Okay, this is the White Sands beach area, but this is where it starts. This is rocky here, so all down here it's all rocky on that side. The beach doesn't start until down here a little ways, but this is where all the stores are and stuff, and there's 2 7-Elevens that way. Okay, the beach starts right there where that 𝙑𝙾𝙧𝙠'𝙨 store, 𝙑𝙑𝙗𝙗, that blue 𝙑𝙑𝙗 store. You go down that alley. That's where the beach starts. And most of the White Sands beach is right next to this big mountain. So you don't have a little town area right next to the beach because there's that big mountain there. You can't, they couldn't build it. So they had to build a town area over here on the side of the beach. Okay, so right here's where you want to cross and go down. Right here by this blue sign and by this exchange. And you go down the little alleyway here. You'll see this here too. Go down this way here. And this is White Sands Beach right here. This is the beginning. It's a little bit rocky over here, but after that it gets all smoothed out. But on this side by where all the rocks are, that's where the best bars are. If you're looking right here, see it says Lonely? This is the trail going down to Lonely Beach. And if you're coming from the other side, there's a trail on that side too. But this is what it looks like on the road. You see that to the beach right there, that sign right there, to the beach. I want to show that sign again because a lot of people don't see that sign. This is the sign you're looking for. It's not very big. It says to the beach. You can see that area over there. You can see that area over there. You can see right here. This is the sidewalk going in. And as far as I know, this is the only access to the beach. There's another trail comes down to this one. You can go through the hotel, the resorts and stuff, but this is the only like public access that I'm aware of. And this used to be an old, this is an old abandoned resort, but now everybody just uses it as public access to the Lonely Beach. This is a really cool spot to hang out if you want to get yourself a few beers or whatever and hang out here. There's a really nice platform out here by the ocean, and the artwork is really cool here too, so it makes it a little bit classy even though it's an abandoned place. There's the pool. You see, this is what the pool deck was here. But you come straight down this trail, right straight out here, across these steps, straight out here to the beach. And then you're gonna walk straight down this trail this way to Lonely Beach. But there's a little platform, like I said, over here that you can party on. And if you decide you want to go to the bars, you can walk straight down the trail that way and go to the bars. And so this is a pretty cool spot, even though it's abandoned. And there is some really amazing artwork here. Let me just show you for a second before I continue down the trail. Look at this. This painting here reminds me of 𝙏𝙃𝙼𝙖𝙞 𝙏𝙃𝙼𝙖𝙞 or Mommy. I think it's really cool. And then there's that other painting over here. Okay, let's go down the trail. Oh, how you doing? These are all bathrooms. So if you do use this place as a drinking spot, there's lots of places that you can use for a bathroom if you needed to. Just got to bring water. And this is Lonely Beach. There's a monkey with a baby. monkey? No, don't come over here. So there's a bunch of them. You're a curious little monkey, huh? Yeah. He thinks I got food for him. This is not food, buddy. To the beach. I don't know for sure. But the beach is halfway long, and I think it's gonna be a lot easier than walking the road. If I can make it to the beach. Wonder if they get coffee. Stopped over here at the Lonely Beach Cafe, and they got a couple of doggies that are very friendly. They come like to say hi. And a little puppy doggy. This one don't like the puppy doggy because puppy doggy taking all the attention from everybody. Huh? Yeah. Puppy doggy taking all the attention. I don't have any food for you, doggy. So this is Lonely Beach. And this is the Lonely Beach doggy. But these guys got coffee. So I'm gonna have me one or two. Okay, If you didn't know this already, this is common Thai style. Okay, give you a tiny little cup like this, and then we fill it up halfway. So if you're not used to that, you might get upset because in the US, that's not how you do it. But here in Thailand, that's how they do it. They always, whatever the cup size is, they're only gonna fill it up halfway. Even though I ordered a 𝙰𝙧𝙖𝙬 coffee, which means large, this is what I got. And that's why I have to journey to 7-Eleven, because nobody else in Thailand is going to get it except 7-Eleven and Starbucks. So that cafe down the beach charged me 80 baht for a couple of shots of coffee, and I just got a buffet at this place here for 200 baht, and I get all the coffee I can drink. So this is a much better deal. Baby kitties. Oh, yeah. Baby kitties. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna come back here every morning, because these guys got a pretty decent buffet for 200 baht, and I like this 7-Eleven coffee, but I can get as much coffee as I want and food for 200 baht, so that pretty much takes care of my needs. Weird looking frog. He's probably poisonous. All kinds of creepy crawlies here. Did you get some rice? Huh? Did you get some rice? Huh? You happy monkey now? Yeah? Okay, one of these things I want to tell you guys, if you didn't know about 7-Eleven, is not only can you get good coffee in the morning, but if you're like me and you like to hit the bars and you have to pay 70, 80 baht for a beer, the way you can save money is you get a hamburger at 7-Eleven hot for 46 baht. So get a couple of hamburgers and that'll offset your price for the beers, and then you're not going to spend as much money on food, and then you don't have to give tips too, because 7-Eleven you don't need to give them tips. In case you're wondering what a 7-Eleven burger looks like out of the package, that's what a 7-Eleven burger looks like. 46 baht. You get one of these, hot and fresh. And I have never gotten sick from a 7-Eleven burger. I've eaten dozens of them. Have not gotten sick once from a 7-Eleven burger. Okay, in the White Sand Beach area, they do have lots of ATMs, and they have ATMs at the 7-Elevens too. They have one ATM that I know of in Lonely Beach, but they only have one. So yeah, then again, Lonely Beach is kind of lonely. Yeah, I just caught a taxi. That's what it looks like. Hi, monkey. So little baby monkeys. One way up there in the tree. Oh my God. My banana pancakes and waffles. Hey, monkey. How you doing, buddy? Somebody should make you a pet. There's more down there. Look at how many of them there are. Today, privately, I'm celebrating because today, the first day, I hit 2,000 subscribers. So me and Singha here, we're celebrating 2,000 subscribers. Later on, I'm gonna try and celebrate some more in Koh Chang. But the real date, the real time that I'm celebrating 2,000 subscribers is right here on Koh Chang in Thailand. Because this is the first day that I checked my YouTube and I was at 2,000 subscribers. So I just wanted to say that. Okay, I wanted to talk about a few of the things that I've learned in this trip to Koh Chang. Things that I thought I was gonna experience before I came here and how it was actually after I got here. One of the biggest things I learned is I thought the rainy season started in June. And I come to find out that the rainy season actually starts in May. And after May, a lot of the places, a lot of the restaurants and stuff start shutting down. The place kind of turns into a ghost town after May. The beginning of May, the first week in May, there's still a few people here, but after about the 15th of May, it seems like all of Koh Chang just shuts down. There's a few people here, but most of the people who are here in this complex right now are local Thai people. There's hardly no European tourists left in here. So that was the biggest thing that I learned, is that the rainy season starts in May. And you might get better prices coming here in May, but the weather, it rains almost every single day. It rained this morning, it rained yesterday, it rained the day before yesterday, almost every single day. And once in a while you get a little break where you'll have a little bit of sun, but almost every single day it's raining. And so if you're not prepared for that, you might get really bummed out about the weather. And it gets worse. June, July, August, it gets worse. So from May until October, it's pretty bad. And then November, December, it starts getting better. But you can see the ocean. This ocean is going to stay like this probably until the end of December. And when I first got here, I have videos of where the ocean was really down real far. But it's been like this every day for the past couple of weeks. And so that's something that you're gonna have to know about. If you're planning to come here in May, you're really gonna need to know about it. Another thing you gotta think about if you come here in May or anytime after May is if you're riding a scooter, it's gonna be really dangerous driving around these roads, because if it's wet, you're gonna slip and slide a whole lot more. So I do not recommend riding a scooter like around May time like that. It's not a good plan. The water puddles up in a lot of places and it floods in certain areas. So yeah, it's a completely different place after May. There's a lot of things to do here that I didn't go to every single attraction, like the pier. I didn't go down to the pier. I was going to, but I didn't. And there's 2 waterfalls. I didn't go to those because it's going to be really muddy walking up and down there. But right now is a really good time to go there, but I'm not going there. And Long Beach here on Koh Chang is really far away from here. I didn't go to that place either, but I did hit all the other beaches. And there's like 4 or 5 elephant parks. I only went to 1. So, and the seafood village that I went to, that's kind of like a tourist seafood village. When I first saw it, I thought it was going to be like a real seafood village, but it's pretty much like a tourist seafood village. I think you probably get better seafood down at the pier, but I didn't go down to the pier. That's one place I'm going to have to check out the next time I come here. Okay, overall, in regards to deciding where you want to stay on Koh Chang, it depends mostly on how much money you want to spend. Because if you got all kinds of money and you don't care about how much it costs, I would say White Sands area is probably the best. If you have lots of money, I mean, if you're rich and you don't care about how much stuff costs, White Sands is probably the best area. But if you're on a budget, I would consider staying at the Seaflower Resort. That's this place right here. Most of these places are ocean view and they're about 900 baht per night, which is not bad considering how much it costs at White Sands. And one of the best things I like about this place is you can buy beer at the mini mart that they have here and drink it right here at this table, or out at the, they have a couple of different areas you can sit out and look out at the ocean. So you basically get like an ocean view bar experience at mini market prices. So that's one of the best things I like about this place, because if I was going to stay at White Sands, even if I got a deal on a hotel, I'd wind up spending $2-3 a beer and then wind up paying tips, and I'd spend 10 times as much money down there as I would here, just because of the beer, not to mention the food prices and stuff. So yeah, that's but there is a lot more convenience down in the White Sands area, and the area, I like the White Sands area probably the best as far as convenience, but the 𝘏𝙃𝙼𝙉 area is pretty cool too. But this place here is not bad, especially if you get down on the Lonely Beach area, which is right down there. They have a lot of bars and stuff on the beach, and this resort is centrally located between the beach and the downtown, the Lonely Beach downtown area, which has a bunch of bars and restaurants and stuff. So you could walk that way to the bars, or you can go that way to the beach. And there's another, see where that different colored roof is right there? There's a nice little walking street with a bunch of bars down there too. So this place here has a lot of nice little bars and oceanfront bars. And if you don't want to pay the high prices of the bars, you can get your beer at the mini mart over here and drink it right here and have this view right here and not have to worry about paying tips and stuff. And the beer here costs about $2 a beer at an average. And but I was paying $2 for the tall ones. And the large 𝙏𝙗 is like 70 baht, 75 baht. And so that's not bad, considering it costs you like $2-3 for a small 𝙏𝙗 lake on the beach or in white sands. So yeah, you're saving a lot of money if you want to just sit here at the picnic table and drink beer. That's one of the best parts about this resort, actually. And so if you're on a budget, I highly recommend this place. Well, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.